Today, I want to talk about this subject about all for the thrill of it. All for the thrill of it. What I realized that human beings in their fallen state love thrills. If they didn't have the thrills in life, they would feel like they don't exist. In their mind, they think they will not exist if they didn't have the thrills in life. Who would I be if I don't feel this way? Who would I be if I don't feel that way? They gotta have the thrills. I even know people who have come to the verge of overcoming thrills, and it scared them, and they ran back because it like they couldn't identify with anything, and so they went back into hell just for the thrill. So what made me think about this is that not only counsel with people, but talking to people as I move about. I was at a business yesterday, and the person that owned the business was kind of edgy like. I'm like, what's wrong? And like, oh, my shoulder's sore, I feel stiff. I'm like, why? I'm like, oh, I think it's stress. It's due to stress. I was stressed out this week, they said. I'm like, and so they said they took a asthma, Tylenol or something to ease the pain so they feel better. And I just took a pill so it'll give me a temporary feeling. And I said, well, to him, I said, well, if you get rid of the stress, you won't be feeling the pain. He's like, oh, no, I'm feeling better now. I'm feeling better now. And I asked, why are you feeling better? They said that, well, it's because last week I didn't get many customers, business was slow, and I didn't make a lot of money. And so I was like worried about that, stressed out about that. And then they said, well, I realized it's the economy. And I'm moving out of California. This economy is bad. And I'm like, but listen, yes, the economy was bad, but you don't have to overreact to the economy. No matter where you go, you have to deal with something, right? And they're like, no, it's all right. I feel better. I got more customers this week, so I feel better. And I realized that that person loved that thrill. The thrill of tripping out because he got no customers that week and business was slow and they stressed out. And then when business started to pick up, they felt a little better. So they loved that thrill of up and down feeling. And so and then I was at the gym one day and a couple of friends were talking to one another and people kind of gathered around and was talking to each other. And when they split away, one started talking about the other one that left the pack. Anybody ever done that? You talk about the person as soon as they leave the group. They think their body look better, right? And what I saw happen was the ones that were left behind when that other person left, they joined forces with the one that started gossiping about the one that walked away. Nobody said, hey, don't do that. They were like, they got a thrill from it, from talking about this person that just walked away, that they were grinning up at, they pretend they liked them, they were praising them for how great they work out. And they turned on, and you could see the thrill in them about it. They got excited. They were feeling good about talking about this person that just walked away. And I was like, wow, that's so interesting. And I realized that human beings love the thrill of life. No matter if it is a negative thrill or so-called positive thrill, because both are wrong. The positive thrill is evil, and the negative thrill is evil. But human beings love thrills. When you don't get a thrill in life in your fallen state, you think things are not happening. And people love to join forces with the thrill because most people are not able to stand alone, to travel this journey by themselves. They're afraid to. They gotta have some form of identity, not realizing that you're not gonna get over this thing, evil, because it is evil, until you're willing to let go of the world. You must die. In order to live, all of your little thrills and ideals and things must die. And one of the ways that they must die Because as I said before, the road to heaven is through hell. You got to go through hell. Ain't no way around it. You must go through the hell. And then you have people out there who love their hell. And, Christ said that a person with anger is a murderer. And the only way that you can get murdered, to be murdered, is that you have to have anger too. So you are a murderer. So a person with anger is a murderer, and the person that has anger over here is a murderer. So if someone attacks you, you're going to react to it because you are a murderer too. That's why it's so easy to get murdered, to be murdered. And meaning that you're going to overreact in your emotions one way or another. You're going to join forces with the murderers one way or another because you are a murderer. That's why you got to overcome anger. I've heard so many stories about parents who are, especially mothers, who turn on their sons and daughters when they go and forgive. Mama will go and find other murderers who would agree with her to go and murder this one child that disagreed. And she'll build an army of murderers, angry people, murderers. And they'll turn against this nice little person to make mama satisfied and to make themselves feel satisfied, to feel holy and better than. If you notice, the worst people are the ones that treat each other bad, as though they are good. And they call it love. They'll make up excuses about it. And they'll try to act like what they're attacking you about is not as bad as them. What they're doing is not as bad. But that's what murderers do. You gotta stop. You don't have to stop. You can live in your hell, but you gotta stop loving emotions. You gotta start loving it. Feel-good emotions are not good. Feel-good emotions are not good. And bad feeling emotions are not good. You gotta die from those things. And Christ said that we must overcome the world with good. You gotta overcome the world with good. And when you overcome the world with good, you'll be able to go anywhere in the world and they can't touch you. Because once you die, ego life die, ain't nothing there to touch. But as long as you have your ego and you identify with feelings, then you can be hurt in the world. And there are people out there who are gonna hurt you because they are hurt. And they love hurting you because it gives them a thrill. They actually get a thrill, especially when they see you overreacting to them. If you overreact to it, they're getting a thrill. In a relationship, men and women, if the man doesn't overreact or the woman doesn't overreact, one will go after, that one that is doing the attacking will go after you until they finally get a reaction. And once they get a reaction from you, they go, I can go to sleep now. And now you sit there looking silly. Because you love the thrill of overreacting. They love the thrill of making you react, and you love the thrill of overreacting. Because if you didn't love the thrill of overreacting, they couldn't make you overreact. And they will go after you and go after you and go after. Because if they can't get a thrill from you, they're going to have to go find somebody else to do it. Evil people love thrills. Have y'all noticed that? Yeah. And I want some feedback from you all about this. There was a nice guy called my show this week, and this week. And he was like, Jesse, and he's working on life somewhat, but he was like, Jesse, I want to, how can I get my girlfriend to go and forgive? Isn't that amazing? And so I asked, well, have you done it? He's like, yeah. I forgot totally how the conversation went, but are you at peace? No, why not? Well, where I live, I can't really have peace, something like that. Or the type of job I have, it won't bring me peace. It's not enough money. And so I finally ask, are you doing this silent prayer? No. I'm like, what the? How are you going to help somebody if you're not even being helped yourself? That's a thrill. People love using what they have heard about the truth to tell others about it because they get a thrill from it because they think that these people see them as being wise. So it's like with the Bible, people pounce on you with the word, right? Same way we hear the truth about mother and sons and daughters relationship. You go and pounce on somebody else about it and you still have fear. You still have worry. You're not doing a silent prayer. You're not letting go. It's a thrill just to fool somebody and think that you're smart. You got to let go of thrills. And so I asked this guy, I forgot his name, but it's not important. I asked him, what's the purpose of having a girlfriend? Well, she made me feel, good. What? Yeah, good. She made me feel good. She listened to me. She made me feel whole. All these evil words that's covering up feeling good. Another outer source that's making you feel good. I'm here to tell you, as a living witness, that you can have perfect peace right now without the thrills. They won't know you have it, but you'll know it. You'll be at peace because they'll still be looking for thrills. They'll think you're feeling what they're feeling, but you're not. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Because there will be no one there to get a thrill. The fake you will be gone. It will die. And the way to do that, what's that verse James asked about?
It is Romans 12:21.
What does it say?
Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good.
And the way you overcome evil with good. Anybody know already? Because I wanted to hear what you all think about this. The thrill of life. Who knows how to overcome evil with good? Let me see. Oh, okay. Let me hear from you all just before I get into that. But this is so good, right?
Yes. Yes.
You can have an amazing life right now. It doesn't have to be after the meeting. It doesn't have to be years from now, even though a lot of people make it years from now because they're constantly roaming the earth for thrills. I got a new job. I feel good. Oh, by the way, this young man that I'm mentioning, what he doesn't realize, and hopefully he'll get back with the prayer and stay on track, life is not about thrills, and everything we're looking for is inside of us. It really, really is, I promise you, it's inside of us. And if you live from within, you're still going to be able to enjoy people, you'll have a life, but you won't get any identity from it because you won't need it. You wouldn't even think of having it because there would be no crowd for it. The devil would not be crying out for that, so it could stay alive. And the world is evil. I would recommend that y'all get over this thing sooner rather than later. And I realize it's going to take some time because you're so identified with thrills. And the world pushes that all the time, right? But human being nature is getting worse. And they are murderers, and the murderers are going to impose on you. They got to try to stay alive, so they're going to impose on you. You live with murderers. Anyone that has anger is a murderer. You won't be able to help it. It'll be the nature, the abnormal nature. You are not your thrills. You're not that.